It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back. We got a brand new video today that one of you guys suggested in Discord community, so shout out to Spy UA for suggesting this. This one is from Quiet Kills, titled The Worst Part of DBD. And I wanted to get into it because, as we probably know, Quiet Kills has some of the best content on from the DBD space. It's usually offering a lot of points that are then, suggested and backed up with actual evidence, which is something that a lot of people in DBD space don't necessarily tend to do. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Led me to believe that maybe Ultron was right. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad if the entirety of the human race was completely annihilated and wiped from existence. For those in the audience who are actually employed and not in the know, DBD Twitter is essentially a cesspool where the most narcissistic, self-absorbed, low IQ troglodytes, devoid of any and all self-accountability whatsoever, gather to regurgitate some of the most intellectually bankrupt takes you've ever seen in your fucking life. Just imagine a bunch of primordial, attention-starved goblins fighting over Earth's last brain cell.
The crazy part is that is DBD Twitter in a nutshell. I've never really perused it myself to know for sure, but when I have seen a couple screenshots or actually seen a post and its responses, it usually boils down to that, like quite literally every time. And unfortunately, it does reflect a lot of the DBD community as a whole. You could apply that same, sort of thought process to the DBD forums or DBD Reddit. In general, it does reflect that the DBD community is definitely not, well, if that makes sense. And Quiet Kills describes it perfectly. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what happens. And that's just how it is, unfortunately. And it's sort of grown into that sort of space. It's kind of become this way, especially with how the game is balanced and how the behavior is sort of like allowing these things to occur in a sense, because they're not actually correctly moderating certain spaces, and they're not adequately creating a good space for people to actually feel welcome, or to be able to actually feel like they can express themselves and actually be educated and have a good point. And I'm like, even when I've been in other spaces that are similar, it's not even remotely close to how the DBD space is, where it's like delusion is truth for people. Untruth is the truth. You know what I mean? Falseness is the truth to them. Their own anecdotal experience magically means everyone experiences it. Just because they didn't see something, therefore it does not exist. We see that a lot too. And it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And I really don't understand how that's really allowed to continue, but for some reason it is. You know what I mean? And it's kind of weird and kind of insane.
That is DBD Twitter. And in today's video, we're going to be covering some of the most viral recent tweets to come out of the hopeless abyss that is the DBD Twitter sphere. So brace yourselves for quite possibly some of the most delusional takes you've ever seen. Our first tweet here is from somebody complaining about the clown and providing an example of why they hate him so much and felt the need to DC at the very beginning of a match against him. Let's check it out.
So hold on a second. I want to quickly stop it here, because this right here is the exact chase that I see from a lot of my ass teammates. And when I ever decide to play Survivor. Now, thankfully I don't play Survivor, but when I do, this is what I see.
Need to DC at the very
So I'm going to quickly show
beginning
it
of a match
again
against
from the
him.
start.
Let's check it out.
Because notice, okay, you're in chase with clown. Fine, who cares? Starts running. Okay, goes in here. Okay, there's a window there. Boom, you vaulted. Cool. Now, the first thing I notice, they're not looking back. Why are you not turning your camera to see where the guy's going? That's already strike one. I go, what are you doing? You know what I mean? That right there is an indicator of skill, right? But notice, right? They got Deja Vu on. They got Lithe and Vigil and Adrenaline. So they're running sweatball meta, right? Yet, this is how they're playing. Their fundamentals are off. Their fundamentals are garbage. Why are you vaulting a window and not looking back? You have to know what the heck is behind you. You don't got to know what he's about to do. Is he going to vault the window? Is he going to go to the side? Is he going to try to cut you off? Nah, they don't do that. They just sit there and run in a straight line. Then from here, you look back mad late. Why are you looking back right, like when you're running into a new room? So it's like you have the forethought to think, I have to look back. But then you don't have the forethought to look back when you're in the middle of an animation. Let alone their camera sensitivity is way too low on controller. You need to have that maxed out so you can quickly turn your camera while vaulting to be able to see where he's going. Then they run in here into a dead zone. The window's all the way over there. Think about it this way. If they decided to actually turn the camera forward and look to the side, because, you know, keep in mind, it's called map awareness, adoy. Let me actually, like, I think, okay, there's two windows in main. One's there. This area is either basement or a dead zone, so I have to go to the left. Now I'm looking up, oh, where do I go? Like, and then you get down and get mad. I'm like, that's your fault. Oh, that's not fair. I'm like, there's a fucking door on the side of the window. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? It's like, yo, ridiculous, dude. And then they fly out the lobby. Like, this is the stupidity I'm talking about. How are you flying out the lobby when yo ass was the one who made a stupid decision? Like, what? Brother, you have to be joking. You have to be joking. Makes no sense.
Person who disconnected at 5 gens against a prestige 1 clown who didn't even land his purple bottle on them is simultaneously the worst survivor I've ever had the absolute displeasure of watching attempt to play the game. I'm pretty sure I could train a snail to produce better pathing than whatever the fuck that was. You're taking these wide ass sluggish turns like you're trying to steer the fucking Titanic, and you ran face first into a door like you were born with your eyeballs in the back of your head. Please explain to me in thorough detail how in any way, shape, or form you being this horseshit at the game is the clown's fault.
Thank you, Quiet Kills, for breaking it down for us even quicker than I could have. Because I already made a little breakdown for you guys as to what the hell they were doing wrong. From a killer player, by the way. And I can tell you straight up how you could have done that better. And that's my problem with this. That's my main issue when it comes down to the raging, the crying, the complaining coming from the DBD community, because it's like, you don't even know how to play the goddamn game. So in what universe does it make any sense that you have anything remotely helpful to say when that's your gameplay? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're playing the game completely ridiculously, illogically, and in every way possible. It's horrible. And yet these are the same people that are going to give feedback and continue to make the game take a nosedive deeper and deeper into the abyss that it's turning into right now, and that it has been for months now, that I've called out for months now. I just really don't understand, like, what the hell they're talking about anymore. Like, this is just ridiculous. Like, you can't be for real.
It's almost as if you have the general awareness of a player who just quits whenever they face even the smallest and most minor inconveniences imaginable. It's almost as if you can't get better at the game if you just refuse to play whenever you feel even slightly challenged. Maybe team-based PvP games just aren't for you, because your refusal to even try to improve at the game just doomed your entire team to what is essentially now an inevitable loss. And can I just point out the fact, you know, the glaring flaw in DBD's matchmaking system, that this person was allowed to just immediately re-queue after ruining an entire match for 4 other people.
Yeah, no, Quiet Kills is once again breaking it down beautifully for all of us. I mean, I right off the bat, I completely agree with what Quiet Kills is saying there. This game clearly is not for you. Why are you sitting here playing this game then? You're making everybody's experience dog shit because you don't want to take the time out to actually learn how to play the game you claim to enjoy, the game you want to play every damn day for multiple hours a day. Yet somehow you have no time to improve. Somehow you have no time to watch a video, to learn pathing, to path better, to look around. There are many guides out there. Once again, Mr. Taterhead, fantastic creator for learning how to loop, will literally show you each map in depth. Each map in depth with no perks. In depth, showing you how to play on these maps each and every way possible. can say with confidence I still remember some of the stuff that I was taught from watching those videos. Because they're well thought out, they're well researched. Like they understand. He understands the intricacies of each map. It's like, who else is it better to learn from? But for some unknown reason, you still have people like this that just want to complain and bitch and moan on Twitter because they played like shit. And it's like, now it's the clown's fault? Like, what are we doing, dude? What are we talking about? Like, this is ridiculous. I just don't understand the logic. If you enjoy something, why do you know nothing about it? It's so strange to me.
They get to just get on to their next match and have fun. Meanwhile, everybody else is...
Oh yeah, that's the other part I forgot to touch on. The fact that the matchmaking is like this, where you can literally sit there and quit back to back essentially like this and still be able to move on to yet another match. And then do that to another team that didn't even deserve that. Because I've talked about this before. People love to sit here and be entitled and say, oh, we should definitely have reduced penalties for disconnecting. And it's like, yeah. In some cases, people just genuinely have bad connection. Or they're just not having a good connection to the servers. That's the thing. And I can acknowledge that. The problem is that people are abusing the system in place, like this individual, where they instantly quit the second they go down from their own mistakes. They're going down, and then they're allowing 4 other players to now have a bad time. Because the 3 survivors there are now automatically going to lose. They pretty much have no chance at that point, because the bot's not exactly the most intelligent player in the match. I mean, they loot better than most players, but that's it, you know, just the chase itself in some cases. The clown player already like misses out on a potentially interesting chase, potentially interesting interaction, potentially interesting, like, you know, match and stuff like that, where it could actually be back and forth, or he can learn, right? He can maybe learn a bit more about his power, learn a little bit more about his killer and his interactions and how to play certain bottles and things. There are so much things that could be done there, but now everyone gets to miss out because this clown got all entitled and wanted to leave. Really? Like, this is ridiculous. It's incredibly selfish.
Forced to sit through the most boring match of all time. But if you thought that was bad, don't worry. It gets worse because
it does get worse. I'm glad that it has to be stated. It does get worse. It does. Because this is unfortunately how the DBD community is. This is unfortunately, for some unknown reason, that's just the state of the community, the state of the game. And if you want it, like, yo, it's really funny because, like, if you want to see how bad that the community gets, you can literally just watch some of my lives where I'm going against people that are waiting out endgame collapses for some reason. After rushing the game out for a 4-minute and 30-second game, they want to wait out the endgame collapse for some reason. Makes no sense. Endgame chats. People flying into your chat. If you're live, flying into your chat. Trying to talk shit. Stuff like that. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Like, this is just one single part of a bigger issue that I've covered previously in different videos. It's a big issue. I don't understand why it's like this. I don't understand what is going on with this community, dude. I really don't understand. Like, it's just the most weird thing ever, dude. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, the entitlement is at an all-time high, and it's like, for what exactly? I will never know. I don't know why. What do you gain, you know? What do you gain from that? It's ridiculous. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section on the topic at hand today. What do you think? Check out the original video so you can watch it on your own. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section, man. Hit the like, hit the sub, man. Become a member on YouTube or Patreon, or even subbing on Twitch. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Hargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.